Hi everyone, Married Espresso Press Design. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome. I thought I might do this craft show, what sold, what didn't, a little differently than most, and have a face-to-face for a change. So, having a cup of coffee here. I'm just relaxing, and actually I'm getting ready to deliver a bag to my neighbor. I'm still selling after the show, so that's a good thing. So first of all, I just want to show you one little thing I bought from my one of my crafty friends. This cute little boho pin, cute little boho beads. I wanted to buy another one, but I didn't want to clean out her inventory before the show started and before the festival started. But she had a huge variety of things. So this was a return of the festival after 4 years. The majority of the vendors worked the festival in previous years and said the crowds were no way near what they used to be. So traffic was sporadic, and I probably down 70% from what the way people described it before. It was very sporadic, and everyone said that the place used to be packed full. So I didn't show the size of the entire venue, but it's a pretty large social hall. So I guess correctly, most of them were elderly, definitely over 75. And the majority of my sales were to people under 50, maybe a couple of grandparents, but yeah, I would say 98% of my sales were to people under 50, and there were virtually no children. I'm being generous. I think I saw 6, and 2 of them were boys. So you can guess about my little purses coming up here. So most were there to eat, get out, enjoy the day. Unfortunately, not the weather because it poured both days. And play the basket raffle, which was pretty much what I expected. I probably would have sold more if it was the way other vendors described it. So there were tons of donated baskets and raffle items. There were 2 tables put together, and then along another entire wall was raffle items. So I'm sure the raffle did very well, and the food did very well. They also have a mum sale, gorgeous, huge mum baskets. Beautiful. You could tell they were high quality plants. And as far as that goes, I think they also said it was a little under what it usually is. So since was also on the committee and my husband we'll be having a meeting to discuss the overall success of the festival as compared to other years. So I doubt that I'll do a table again unless I manage to create a huge inventory before the sign up, because it was just so much work. And I would pretty much be working the next 6 months like I have the last 6 months just to build up that inventory. So I don't think I'll be doing this again, but I'm happy I had the experience. And I can cross that off my list just to see what it's like. And I did volunteer to do something for next year if they have it, but I don't think the committee chair is going to volunteer to be the chair again, so I don't know. And we'll also be losing our Monsignor, so I don't know. So, I really enjoyed it and the people I met, and the crafter at the table next to me destashed. And the second day, she brought me these huge bags of die cuts, which I was so happy to receive because I don't have a die cut like this. And let me just show you a sample here. I spent the day separating, and this is just a couple of pages of a sample of the number of die cuts she brought in for me. So that was so nice. And I have to do her a thank you card. So my husband did a great job on the committee. My daughter worked the one table, the charity table, for both days. So they also didn't sell all the available craft tables, which I was surprised. So that was probably why they offered everyone two if they wanted them. So overall, I'm going to start on the bright side. I sold out all my journals within the first hour. My junk journal was just for display and a conversation starter. And I lost all that in the first hour. So I was happy about that, but I'll get to that part in a little bit. It wasn't even finished, and I was going to take it home that night and finish the signature threads in the corners. And that didn't get finished, but the customer wanted it anyway. And I still sold some items after the festival. So I'm going to switch here to screen share, and then I will go through the items individually and tell you how many I sold. And there, pretty sure you can see that. So there's my video. So note cards, I stocked 20. I sold 3, so I made $10.50, and I have another 5 going out the door. So I didn't update that total yet. My neighbor forgot about the show, so she gave my husband a 20 and told him that she wanted 5 cards, and that another neighbor told her that they were $3.50, but I think she has me confused with another card maker. I was next to one card maker, and then there were other card and paper crafters across the aisle. And on the other side of me was a ceramic artist who brought probably thousands of dollars worth of beautiful stuff, and it was a lot of work for her, and she was disappointed. And she had been there before, and she told me it was usually packed. So gift card holders, I sold them at 2 for $2.50. I stocked 6 and I sold all 6. That was $15. I had cash envelopes. I had one with a cash envelope and a gift card holder, and one with a tea set and a cash envelope, and I sold one, the gift card holder one, for $2. The treat envelopes, one for 50 cents. I stocked 34. I sold 0. These are envelopes when they are mismatched from a set I make rather than just use the paper for junk. I thought, well, might as well try to sell them. So I didn't sell any, but those won't go to waste. My pocket tags were $3.75. I stocked 12. I sold 7. And actually, I have another one in the bag, and that was $26.25. And I sold 4 the last half hour to a doctor and grandpa. After 12 p.m., the last day, I had everything 50% off, but he refused to pay 50% off. So I sold them all at full price. Hershey Nuggets 6-packs were $2.75. I stocked 12. I sold 2. That was a disappointment. None of my candy things sold, and I overspent on candy. So that was $5.50. Matchbook Ghirardelli, stock 7, sold 0. Mini candy box full of Lindt chocolates. I had them for $4. I actually, after I saw how much chocolate was, I raised the price of some of my candy things. And I stocked 5 and I sold 0. So I have those. My decoupage candy box, I filled those with Lindt chocolates. I was going to fill one with tea, but I changed my mind. But I stocked 3 and I sold 1 for $5. My tag books each held 6 tags plus ephemera. They were $3. I stocked 5. I sold 0. The treat purses, I might have sold 5 actually. I stocked 12. I have it here. I sold 4, but they were $2.75, and I think they held 4 Hershey Nuggets, maybe 5. So that was $11. And as I said, I saw a total of 6 kids. That's being generous. 2 of them were boys. But I think the grandmother did buy something for me. So as I saw them going out the door, the little girls, just because I didn't want to take these treat purses home, I gave each of them 1. My bookmarks. Oh, geez, I forgot my bookmarks, but I love my bookmarks. They were $1. I stocked 22. I sold 3 for $3. My framed florals were $7.50. I stocked 3. I didn't sell any. And here is my junk journal. And I can't believe I sold this to a young guy. And he also bought the leather one, faux leather one. And they were all in the same box. And he picked it up and he said, "Oh, this is cool. How much do you want for this?" And I said, "Well, it really isn't for sale." And I didn't explain that it wasn't finished, but just make me an offer. And he said, "How about $10? I said, "Fine." Because that was maybe the first hour and a half or so. And I saw that there were virtually no people. So I just said, "Fine." And I really didn't care. So I said, "Fine." So the signature threads weren't finished. He didn't know that. And he bought one of the large leather journals, and I'll get to that here. He had the large one in his hand. I thought he had the small one. So when he asked me how much that was, I said $4. And the large one was $7. So right off the bat, I shortchanged myself $3. And then my friend bought the other 2, so I sold all those. That was my first sale, and I sold them all. So I was I don't know, that was my conversation starter, so then I had to take down my signs about what's a junk journal and what is momogami. So I had to take down my signs and all that, but I didn't have any problem talking to people, unlike on YouTube. In person, don't have any problem. I'm a Pennsylvania. We can talk to anyone about anything, anywhere, anytime. So, Ghirardelli, I stock 6, sold 0. But I can keep those. The tea treat holders, I had 3 for $2.50. I stocked 17. I sold 7, so that was $17.50. These tags sat here. I stocked 3. I sold 0. My book thongs. Look how cute those are. And I finally came up with some cool packaging. Those are so cute. I love those. I met the exchange student from China because she would ask me what they were. She didn't know what they were. So I stocked 7 of those. I sold 0. They were $1. I love those things. So various items. Let me take a drink here. I'm losing my voice. Various items, new and used stamps. I had 13. I sold 3. I had a basket of freebies. I had 9, and people took. Actually, they took 7. I only have 2 left. So that was that. So let me stop screen share here and go back to full screen. All that's on the blog. I'll try to remember my corrections and correct. I still have another bag to deliver. So all in all, I had 87 packaged items and I sold 40. So a little less than half. And some of those packaged items brought the total of individual items up to 430 items I made for that show. And my total profit, including the $20 I'm going to take over to my neighbor, was $140.75. It's a far cry from the 400, about 400. I probably would have done 300 at least if it was the normal crowd, is what people said. So overall, I'm not going to complain. I'm at least going to get a jelly plate. And that doesn't include, if you take off the $50 it costs to join it, have a table, and the gift basket donation. It's probably about $30. But I'm not going to complain, I knew by the crowd and I knew by the demographics what was likely to happen, so I wasn't wrong about either. And I'm sure that the demographic mix would have been a lot greater if it was as it was in every other year. Not to mention, both days it rained almost the whole day. And one of the days was a Friday, so the kids were all in school, where people were working, so that led to the expected demographic, I'm sure. And it did it did seem to pick up after 3 o'clock. And Saturday kind of did seem a little busier than Friday, except for the lunch hour. And it was like I said, the demographic, they wanted to play the raffle, they wanted to eat, and they wanted to get out of the house. So that's pretty much what I was expecting, and at least, I got that right, and kind of knew that's what it would be. But as everyone said, I'm surprised that my food items didn't sell more. I changed my mind and switched from tea to chocolate, thinking chocolate is a win-win, and I hardly sold any of my candy items. So what I might do is put up a little pop-up table since today is sunny. I might put a little pop-up table out in the corner of my yard with a jar and just clear it out if I can, because I don't think the candy, they might last till Halloween if I put it in the fridge. I don't want to eat all of it. So I think that's what I might do. I don't know. We'll see. I might put my frame florals in Shopify. I'm trying to get my husband to help me figure out how to set things up so I don't have to sell internationally. Because I've told you before, I do want to have a little online boutique to sell things on Shopify. I don't know if you can keep things to USA on Etsy or not, but I don't want to do that on Etsy. I don't think so anyway. Maybe Facebook Marketplace, but I have to check that out as well. So now I can't remember if I said this to you people, but I did learn some of the people that visited my table, and I did learn from other people who have been doing this a while. My neighbor is on the board at an art center, and she told me to take my things over there, and I would sell all of them because they have a gingerbread festival, and they get thousands upon thousands of visitors. Plus, this center is associated with the state park, so they get tourists all the time. But then another crafter whose daughter does this said they expect you to keep things restocked. So I don't want to make that type of commitment. But for you, those of you who would like to do that, I wanted to share this for you as an avenue to sell your things where you will probably have a lot of success. So keep that in mind, your state parks. I don't know how they are. I'm just speaking of Pennsylvania here. Your state parks usually have a visitor center. Usually they have some gift items. Usually they're craft, jewelry, postcards, things like that. My one friend had some hand-painted wooden bowls. They would have done excellent at this center. I know she would have sold all of them, but it was her birthday the one day, and I brought that up to her, what my neighbor told me, and she said she had no interest in doing that. And then she told me she's 82, so probably not. She doesn't want to do that. So her daughter does that. Her daughter is in a Presque Isle gift shop, and I think up in Elk County where they have the elk. I think she said she's also in one of those. So keep that in mind. Your state park visitor centers usually have a little gift shop, and that's a great idea. And that's also a great idea if you want to gauge what sells and what doesn't. If you are in craft show, going to craft shows and setting up your booth or table or whatever, that might be a good place to learn what sells and what doesn't, so that you can correctly do some, correctly stock your inventory. But as the other paper crafters said, the one next to me sold cards, and the other paper crafter sold cards and variety paper crafts. Nothing really like mine, like notebook and pen sets, greeting cards. And I said, I didn't think greeting cards would sell, so I didn't make any. But they sell. They did well, and the one next to me did okay. I think she did pretty well, but probably not as well as she did in previous years. And same with the other ones. They said the same thing. So my friend across from me, she had bowls, she had jewelry, she had Christmas ornaments, and she had 7 things. So she had a huge variety. She ended up doing pretty well. The ceramics next to me, she didn't do, knowing your worth, the value of the items she sold. And the jewelry at the end, and I forget what else was there, maybe some treats, baked goods, I can't remember. There were 2 of them sharing a table, and one was jewelry. I'm not sure how she did. So there were supposed to be 10 tables, and I think there were only 7 sold. So that was how that went. But I wanted to pass that on to you as a, that would be a good idea, but I don't think I want to make that type of commitment. But if you are doing this and you would like a place to sell, that's a great idea. Okay, I have to stop here. That's a great idea because our state parks are always full of visitors, tourists, going to festivals. Our state parks are booked all year. Even here on the western part of the state, they're full. In the eastern part of the state, I'm sure you could probably charge more and make more money because they are probably also full. I know all our state parks are always full. So that's a good idea. Check out the the visitor center. See if they have a gift shop. Take a trip up. Ask what their seller policy, vendor policy is. See if they'd be interested in taking your items. And that's a great, great idea. And I'm going to talk to my neighbor a little more about it and see what that entails. Off the top of my head, I don't have any interest in making a commitment like that, but it might be something worth thinking about. Okay, everyone, this is probably a little too long, but I enjoyed seeing you in person. Thank you so much for all your support and encouragement. And I was really nervous about it just because of how much time it took away from my favorite jobs. or my, my real jobs, and just nervous about it in general, having never done this, and also having never even been to very many craft shows. I just learned what I could off of YouTube, and I was flying by the seat of my pants. But thank you so much for all your support and encouragement, and I'll be back tomorrow with my start to Christmas trying to boost my channel. I would really appreciate it if you subscribe and share as much as you can. I've been monetized now since what, July, and I still haven't got a paycheck. And I won't until I reach $100. So please support my channel. I really appreciate those of you that do. And I'll keep trying to create as much content as I can that's as different from that's original, and I'll do the best I can. So thanks again, everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye.